Hello, I'm Regina Smith, and welcome to my brand new podcast, Coffee, Talk, and Books, sponsored by my company, LateBloom Productions. Now, you may say, Regina, why are you doing a podcast when there are 1 million podcasts out there? And I'll tell you why. When you don't see what you want to see and you don't hear what you want to hear, then you do it. It's your job to present yourself to the world. This podcast will hopefully encourage people to raise their voices, positive topics, exciting guests. We are going to talk to authors published by my LateBloom publishing house. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Coffee, talking books all day. Regina's voice just leads the way. A rhythmic pulse, a sacred space. Words and beans in a warm embrace.
Welcome back. Again, this is Regina Smith. My very first podcast, Coffee, Talk, and Books. My tagline is, it's never too late to pursue your dreams. Fun fact, about 30 years ago, I wanted to be an anchor person, a newscaster, the next Oprah. Of course, my dreams did not come true, but life has a way of spinning the block for you. And this is a wonderful opportunity for me to start conversations with real people and real topics that matter to us all. I have some special guests today. Two of three of my most important prized possessions, my children, and they agreed. I made them. They agreed to be a part of my first podcast, and I wanted to talk about just being a mom. That is one of the most important things to me, and Mother's Day is coming up in a couple of months, but I have a son who's going to be leaving me soon. Can I say you're going to Japan? I did, but I just most definitely going to miss you, honey. And then I have another son in college, a year and a half to go. And so I'm really starting to feel that empty nest. And since Mother's Day is coming up, but Junior won't be here, I thought I would just have a conversation with my kiddos. One of them is not here because he's working. He couldn't take off. But you can't make grown folks, adjust their schedule. Okay, I'm over it. But I would just wanted to say, hey, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Micah. I'm number one of trois. He's number three. I'm a junior in college. I go to IU. I was a sprinter at another school for a little bit. And yeah.
Oh, wonderful. And he's a photographer. Oh. And a musician. I have to brag. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Robert Smith, and I'm number three. I'm a Marine. That's about it.
Oh, he's exciting. I mean, these guys are really trying to be proper. I raised them right, but they are truly, truly hilarious. And so I told them, I want to have a conversation with you guys. What we used to do growing up, I have a panel in the back in the kitchen that has family rules. And we used to, while we were eating, we would just pick one of the topics off of that panel and just talk about it. So today I wanted to just kind of peek into their minds about growing up and ask them, what was your best mom moment? Your best mom moment. Who wants to go first? And I didn't pay them to talk, guys, so hopefully they'll say something nice.
Since I have the mic, I'll go first. There's numerous good mom moments, and I have to think about, what I gotta say. I'll say the best mom moment.
I love you, kid.
There's too many. I gotta really
I don't want to put them on the spot, but sometimes you know how people have those origin stories and we hear it a lot. We don't see or hear enough in the media, whether it's social media or on the news. healthy relationships. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do a podcast, because I want to hear from healthy people doing wonderful, productive things. And there are plenty of people that I know in my life that needs more airtime than some of the stuff we're seeing. So, Junior, think about it and we'll get back to you. What about you, Micah? What's your best mom moment or family moment, whatever you want to share?
Well, there's many mom moments. There are multiple moments of just supporting me, sprinting. I was a sprinter in high school and college. Music, art. I used to draw a lot, and then my aunt passed away. But even then, after that, she would encourage me to draw, even though I don't. But she would encourage me to draw and stuff. So just encouragement and support.
Thank you, honey.
Things everyone needs, Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Tell me about, and Junior, I'll get back to you on just your best mom moment or the best family moment. But tell me about how you guys feel about what's going on in the world. All of the breaking news, all of the things that are happening. How do you see it and process it? What are your thoughts on it?
This is what I think about what's going out in the world right now. I think it's progression in our society, but there's also like some negativities to the positives of the world, and we must look through that and focus on the positive, and we're gonna find what's good in today's society.
So when you, going back to that, Junior, what can someone do personally? Like when you are hearing a conversation, or if you're hearing things about people getting deported and hearing people lose their jobs and different things like that, how do you feel about that? And do you feel like you can do anything as an individual about it?
On the fact that people are getting deported, I think it's wrong personally, because I have friends that they get deported sometimes, and that's not good. Like, we should unite as North America. Like, you feel me?
Oh my God. Okay. What about you, micah? Do you have anything you want to say regarding this
Politics and everything.
politics?
Well, with politics, yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on, not just in America. A lot of countries are going through something right now. Like Robert said, there's positives and then there are negatives with everyone, and that's how it is. So, yeah, I didn't know
How
this
do
was
you
politics.
I know, but how do you handle it?
How do I handle it?
Yeah, as an individual.
Just mind my business. But yeah, with the deportation, yeah, I mean, I understand, but it's a little excessive on
Some of that, yeah.
But it's not just that. There's many other things going around. Obviously, the Russian-Ukrainian war, things in Southeast Asia, Burma, military coups in many other countries, but like humanity progresses over time. So
We hope so. We hope so. Yeah. And it does. Mm-hmm. The fact that we're here, it shows progression. So, Junior, I'm not going to let you off the hook. What's your best mom moment?
Very well. My best mom moment is, it's like the action of like motivating me to go through hard times and to not give up. And my mom, she gives like words of wisdom. She gives words of wisdom sometimes, and I appreciate that. Really helped me when I was struggling.
Oh, baby, hug me. Oh, I love you. Thank you guys for being a part of my first podcast. And I know I put you on the spot and made y'all come, but I appreciate. Anything else you want to say before we wrap up this segment?
Who, me?
Yeah, anything you want to share.
Please watch her podcast. Go to her if you want to make a book, or if you can't visually, or other things that is going on. You don't have to be English major. You can just write whatever, and she'll fix it up for you.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Mommy. Thank you. All right. Stay tuned. We have an important guest coming up. Powerful in the state of Indiana. You don't want to miss it. Coming up soon.
Coffee, talking books all day.
Welcome back. This is Regina. I'm so glad you are able to join me again with Coffee, Talk, and Books. I'm here with a special guest, my friend, Antoinette Holt. So glad you're here, girlie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming. Antoinette is a 24-year public health expert. 24-year public health expert.
Long time.
What that means is she has dedicated her life to minority health and for health to all Hoosiers across the state of Indiana, doing programming galore, state level programming, and pushing health care for all. And I want you to just pause before we jump into conversation and just share more about who you are. And thank you again for coming.
First, thank you, Regina, for having me. I'm so honored. And I want to say happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there. The opportunity, who I am, get to be a servant. So that's the main important thing. I love people. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to help people. Grateful for the opportunity sometimes to be in places and spaces where people can't go and have a voice, where we can stand up. Definitely grateful for just in faith in what we believe and how that works in the coordinates with our job every day. So that's a little bit about me. Whatever I'm able to do, as long as it's aligned in His will, I'm good.
Thank you. So, I want to have real conversations with real people in real time. Mm-hmm. And what I noticed that when I turn on Facebook or other social media sites, very entertaining. I watch them, I stroll. But sometimes I want to have a deep conversation about what's really happening in the world and create a space for that. And so having said that, there are so many breaking news, not just once a day, all day, every day,
all the time,
for the last couple of months. And so as it relates to public health, how do you feel about the uncertainty with the different policies, the executive orders that are happening? How do you feel and what are you thinking about it?
I think number one is the work has to continue. This is not the first time, probably won't be the last time where we've encountered hardships and different things or had to pivot, because that's the beauty of the people that have come before us. And now you've seen in regards to when they're facing not so much adversity, but differences and change, that they have a pivot so you can continue to serve people, because that's the thing. At the end of the day, we want to make sure people have access to what they need and how they do it. And so I would not fret because of a lot of things that are happening. It's not always cohesive in regards to how we function day in, day out, in regards to making sure that everybody is part of the plan, but what can we do in that instance and space? So we're still going to work at communities that are disadvantaged. We're still going to work with people that need help, a helping hand. We're still going to be able to be a voice at the table, trying to make sure people are at the table. That's a big thing right now in regards to what we're doing, because it's very important. I think it's also important that we utilize not normal partners that we have that's going to help us in the efforts, and not stop dealing with people just because they may be in spaces and places that are not necessarily most popular. So I would continue to do the work. Because, again, you have people, mentors, different things that have gone through, that have had to endure. And, if we're on the faith-based portion part, He said we're going to suffer persecution if you live right.
Oh,
right?
Goodness, yeah.
So this is just part of that opportunity that we have to be a light, whatever we do. And it's also an opportunity to be able to continue to work in the places and spaces that he affords us that opportunity.
So, thank you for that. When we hear anti-DEI, anti-diversity, anti-equity, anti-inclusion, and I know this is a hot topic, what do you tell the Hispanic mom or the Black woman or the Black man or any non-white or a female who is afraid, who's anxious, who doesn't have your knowledge and your experience to power through difficult times? What do you tell them?
That's when it's important in regards to your partnerships and linkages that you have. Because in these spaces and places of communities, you want to assure them what you can do within your power and your wheelhouse. Because I can't solve the world's problems. I know who can, but I can't solve the world's problems. But what we can do is assure that what we offer and do different things is a safe place and space, because I don't want people to miss out on a health fair or opportunity to make an appointment for their child, or sending their children to school because they're scared that something's going to happen. So we have to make sure that we are working with these schools or community organizations or faith organizations or different things that's going to afford us to help us to be able to create that opportunity where, again, access is not a problem, but also we're addressing the need and concern. And people need to know their rights. People need to know what they can and cannot do and different things like that. I think there's a proponent in the hot topic that you just can't focus on one set of population. If we're going to make rules and different things as far as the country, there's more than one border and there's more than one opportunity. So we need to address everybody.
Okay, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the message I feel that I'm hearing, that people feel that when including others, they may feel excluded. How do you strike a balance?
Again, you have to, because people are going to, let me say, people who are marginalized or different things are going to have strong advocates or proponents that's going to stand up for, whether it be their population, their race, whether it be where I live in rural or urban, whether it be economic, the different things like that. You're going to have a proponent that's going to stand up for the people and be a voice. And so you have to continue to show the importance. Data-driven opportunities is what's going to get us through a lot of things. We're going to have to show the numbers, even though we know realistically these numbers have been in existence. We're going to have to give evidence-based and proof that this is what's happening. Is it necessarily right? No, but again, you have to do what you have to do in order to, be a proponent. Resources. If we're going to get money, we gotta show the numbers. If we're going to continue to work, we have to show that, hey, disproportionately, African Americans are suffering from infant mortality. Disproportionately, you have Native Americans suffering from different diseases and different things like that. Know that who's in your state. Again, there's a lot of people that don't know. You have a Native population or indigenous population. You have a lot of immigrant refugees that's come in, Burmese, Haitian population. There are different pockets that aren't used to necessarily having difference. So now you have to adjust. And you have to make sure that if you're going to incorporate, hey, we're going to offer this health opportunity, different things, that is to everybody.
Gotcha. So, because you're in it and you're working, do you feel encouraged to stay on the wall? And what are you concerned about and what are you hopeful about?
I'm hopeful because we are always, where there's a will, there's a way. So you're going to always have a proponent where, regardless of opposition or regardless of hard tasks, you're going to find a way to be able to persevere, because that's the type of people that we are. You want to persevere in spite of what I'm concerned about is, you can't not wash away history. You cannot avoid the facts of things that are realistic and happen. It's part of who we are. It's part of the history of the United States, different things that have happened. So you can't go and just erase it. And even if you erase it, it's still there. So what do we have to do is continue that, even if you take it out of this certain place and space, that you're educating your children, that you're educating your community, just letting them know that, hey, you can do this. This is not the first time that we've been persecuted. You can make it, and it's going to be all right. And so that's what we have to rest in.
You said the word persecuted. Some people feel that way, that they have been targeted, picked on, persecuted. How do you encourage providers who have across the state, no matter what region of the state, they are all feeling the cuts from federal funding, food programs, translation programs, different programs that provide services. When people feel targeted, how do you encourage them, if at all, to find innovative ways to continue?
I think you hit it on the nail at the end. You have to find innovative ways to continue. So if a program stops because it's not getting state funded or federally funded, how will it continue? Can we barter partnerships in a community? Can this business help this school, help this individual, help this family? Coming together as a community is what's going to help in regards to allow us to thrive as well too. So checking on your neighbor, being there for them, providing, that extra is going to go a long way. You may think that, hey, I'm just one person, I can't do anything, but it's like a hand. I use this example all the time. Your hand, one person can make a difference. One person can do, your finger can do a lot with this when you dial phones or whatever have you. But when all your fingers, which are connected, work together, you can accomplish a lot, right? So it's the same thing with community. Just because, one person may have this, if I'm giving the blanket, or if I'm donating money to benevolence at church, or if I'm given the opportunity to be able to go to school and help a mother out or different things like that, you are doing something to make an impactful opportunity in your community. So don't take it for not that you're not doing it. Little is much in the master's hand. So
You said a lot. You touched on something, the heart condition. Even with all the breaking news and the bad news and the scare tactics and reality changing in uncertain times, we all need to check our hearts and be good neighbors. I think that I got that from you just now. So thank you for that reminder. What would you like to say before we wrap up this segment?
I want to encourage people to continue on. I mean, there's so much that you can do, like in the positions that we're at, but the people that are out in the community, things I consider you the foot soldiers that are, you going out to fight the war and the battle and different things. So don't get weary in what you do.
Come on.
Don't fret what you do, because again, being a proponent of faith, I believe that who's on our side is going to prevail regardless of what's happened. And so even if it looks like it's getting dim or special, just continue to fight. And I have to think about the people that came before me, because they persevered. They didn't have half the resources or things that we had, but yet and still they made it. And so I look at those examples like, we can't stop, because who's looking at you? You're a dynamic individual, different things, but who's looking at you coming up? Your sons, the people at church, your community, different things like that. So you are representative, regardless of whether you thought about it or not. So that's what I encourage. I encourage people to keep on standing on the wall, like you said.
Stay on the wall. Amen,
like
sister.
They said, keep on keeping on, baby. Go ahead.
Wow, Antoinette, thank you so much for coming, for encouraging us, for being real and talking about topics. But at the end of the day, we have to continue the work, continue the advocacy, continue being good neighbors. And thank you so much. Next, we're going to wrap up by talking about LateBloom and how you can get involved. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Antoinette.
Thank you very much for having me.
Well, we are back, and we just completed my first podcast episode. Yay! Let me tell you something. Whatever dream you have, it's never too late to pursue your dreams. And I'm so excited to tell you briefly about LateBloom, who I am. I founded LateBloom in 2020. It's a 3-pronged organization. The first being theater production. I'm a playwright, so I love to produce and direct plays. And so if you ever are interested in being a part of a production, please reach out and let me know. Also, the second part of what I do is I offer grant consulting services, so writing grants, helping people with business proposals and business plans. I've had about 25 years working across 3 state agencies, so I know how to help you develop program ideas, know how to write grants and help you with your vision. And then the last portion of what LateBloom is, and I'm most excited about right now, when 2020 happened and people were dying, unfortunately, due to COVID, I prayed an intentional prayer and asked God, what do you want me to do in this hour? And it was like he affirmed, Regina, you are a storyteller, but I want you to help other people tell their stories to the world. 4 or 5 years later, this year, we will reach our 40th publication milestone. And so I want you to reach out. She's going to be a future client, aren't you? Yes. I help with ghostwriting. If you have an idea and you haven't started, I can help you with that. If you are midway and have a partially done manuscript, I can help you. Wherever you are, I can help you with your book publishing journey. Reach out to me. I can be found on Facebook, Regina Faith Smith, Instagram, 123sons, and you can email me, latebloomproductions@gmail.com, and call 317-985-3999, and reach out to me if you're interested in a collaboration. We'd love to work with you. We are going to do this once a month. I'm going to test it out for a year. So share. I think how they say it is like, comment, share, and subscribe. And so get with it, guys. If you want to hear quality conversation, hear about what authors are doing across the state, come and check me out. LateBloom's Coffee Talk and Books.
Coffee, talking books all day. Regina's voice just leads the way. A rhythmic pulse, a sacred space. Words and